Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chowdhury. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Friday, the 23rd of January. President Obama aims at strengthening bilateral ties during India visit. Bangladesh's economy hit hard as indefinite shutdown continues. And Bollywood gets its corn bride with Dolly ki Doli. And now for all the details. President Barack Obama is set to begin his three-day India trip from Sunday. He will be the first American president to visit India twice in his tenure. Our political editor Smita Prakash has more in this report.
Barack Obama described the American relationship with India as the most defining relationship of the 21st century, and he has spared no effort in working to build on India-US ties. President Obama and Michelle Obama visited India in 2010 and also hosted then Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and Mrs. Gurcharan Kaur in Washington, D.C. several times. But India-US ties hit rock bottom in the past 2 years due to several diplomatic issues. But in November 2014, India's new Prime Minister Narendra Modi rebooted ties by setting up a new working relationship, inviting President Obama to be the chief guest at India's Grand Republic Day celebrations in New Delhi on January 26th.
We see the visit of President Obama to India as strengthening our ties across the full breadth of our full spectrum relationship. Ties between our governments, ties between our peoples, and ties between our institutions.
India and the US are expected to move forward on several areas of cooperation, including defense, civil nuclear technology, energy, climate, and economic ties. President Obama and Prime Minister Modi will host a joint radio show and will also be interacting during the Republic Day functions. The opposition Congress party has already dismissed the US presidential visit as one of little consequence.
I think Prime Minister does everything for the sake of publicity, whether it is his foreign jaunts or whether it is the Republic Day also, everything for his personal publicity and not for the country, not for the interest of the people.
Last year, Prime Minister Modi and President Obama targeted a five-fold increase in annual bilateral trade to $500 billion. In the coming days, officials of both countries will chalk out strategies on speeding up the procedures to achieve that target. Smita Prakash, South Asia Newsline, New Delhi.
Pakistan's Supreme Court has demanded that the government publish a list of banned terror organizations in the people's interest. The move comes after Pakistan decided to act tough on a set of globally designated terror outfits.
The Supreme Court on Thursday directed the federal government to upload the list of outlawed organizations in the country on official websites and further demanded to advertise it. The court observed that despite the government's stall claims of fighting terrorism, the desired list was not available publicly, including the websites of the National Counter-Terrorism Authority and the Interior Ministry. It also sought the translated version of anti-terrorism laws, pointing at errors in legal books and journals. The decision on Thursday came hours after Pakistan's Foreign Ministry confirmed the banning of Haqqani Network, an armed militia responsible for many high-profile attacks on US and NATO forces in Afghanistan. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Tasneem Aslam had also announced freezing the bank accounts of Jamaat-ud-Dawa, apart from barring its founder and one of India's most wanted terrorists, Hafiz Saeed, from leaving the country. Both New Delhi and Washington have blamed Saeed for masterminding the November 2008 Mumbai attacks, which killed 166 people, including 6 Americans. Despite freezing its assets, the JUD on Friday said it will continue its humanitarian work in Pakistan.
The ongoing indefinite shutdown in Bangladesh has taken a toll on its economy. The country has so far suffered losses of 3% of the GDP, with many manufacturing units running out of raw material.
Bangladesh has so far incurred losses worth $450 million in the 3 weeks of the BNP-sponsored nationwide shutdown. According to a statement issued by the Dhaka Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, the country's gross domestic product forecasted for financial year 2014-2015 is suffering immensely. 16 key income-generating sectors of Bangladesh, including ready-made garments, transport, communication, agriculture, tourism and shipping, were facing heavy losses. The industrial body also said many production units across the country were running short of raw material due to the breakdown of the supply and distribution chain. Many also fear mass layoffs in the coming days, which they say have already begun in the garment sector, the country's largest income generator. Workers took to the streets of Dhaka on Friday, appealing BNP Supremo Begum Khaleda Zia to call off the blockade for the sake of the people.
দেশে যে অবরোধ দিয়ে রাখছে এতে সবচেয়ে বেশি ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হচ্ছে আমার গার্মেন্টস শ্রমিক ভাই ও বোনেরা কারণ এই সময়ে হলো গার্মেন্টসে অর্ডার আসার সময় এখন সমস্ত বায়াররা বাংলাদেশ থেকে চলে যাচ্ছে আমরা চাচ্ছি খালেদা জিয়া যদি জনগণের স্বার্থে অবরোধ দিয়ে থাকে তাহলে মানুষ কেন পোড়ায় গাড়ি কেন পোড়ায় শ্রমিক কেন পুড়ে মারা যাচ্ছে এখানে কোনো পলিটিক্যাল লোক পুড়ে মারা যাচ্ছে না এবং যাও যাচ্ছে খুব কম আমরা চাচ্ছি অতি বিলম্বে আজকের পর থেকে যেন এই দেশে আর কোনো অবরোধ না থাকে আমার খেটে খাওয়া শ্রমিক ভাই বোনরা যেন ভালোভাবে কাজ করতে পারে
Bangladesh suffered a similar situation in 2013 during the run-up to the general elections. The 62-day shutdown had resulted in a loss of $12.55 billion, virtually bringing the economy to a standstill. Many fear with the new blockade, foreign retailers who resumed placing orders with Bangladeshi firms after the relatively peaceful situation post-elections would withdraw from the country yet again.
The public transport of Pakistan's southern Karachi is on the verge of collapse in the light of negligence and lack of management, a latest report has said.
Karachi's government-run transportation system is in shambles owing to a history of failure, neglect, inefficiency and lack of maintenance in both public and semi-private run projects. The 32-page report titled Karachi, the Transport Crisis, which was released on Friday, includes 200 interviews of government officials, transporters and residents. It highlights the bleak state of affairs amid high fuel costs and limited government support. The report also explains the position of bus operators where they have to pay route owners, money lenders and police officers. Those seeking to enter the transport market have to struggle as regular banks do not give loans for fear of non-payment. Adding to the mismanagement is the city's 329 official bus routes, out of which only 111 are currently being used, with the remaining not considered lucrative by the transporters.
Nepal is facing a political uncertainty after lawmakers missed the deadline to draft a new constitution once again. This comes after three major political parties in the country failed to draw consensus on the new framework.
The deadline set for drafting Nepal's new constitution ended Thursday midnight amid lingering political differences after the Constituent Assembly failed to agree upon basic issues like the number and type of new states and the new electoral and judicial systems. A last-minute effort to pass the draft without consensus also proved fruitless as opposition lawmakers stormed into the well of the House, forcing the Speaker to adjourn the proceedings. The opposition, Unified Communist Party of Nepal, said they will only allow the constitution to be drafted through consensus.
यथास्थितिवादी र प्रतिक्रियावादी संविधान बन्न दिएन यसमा हामीलाई गर्व छ र आम नेपाली जनतासँग प्रगतिशील परिवर्तनकारी र हिजोको ऐतिहासिक सम्झौता अनुसारकै संविधान बनाउनको निम्ति संघर्ष निरन्तर अगाडि बढाउने विश्वास दिलाउँदै जनतालाई त्यसको निम्ति तयार रहन अपील पनि गर्न चाहन्छु.
The Himalayan nation has been trying to draft a constitution ever since 2008 when it became a republic, replacing its centuries-old monarchy.
They are known to act tough on traffic violators, but this man is breaking all stereotypes to give the commuters a sight to reckon. Take a look at how he deals with people on the roads.
Amid the hustle-bustle of a busy Indore, this intersection stays beaming all through the day. The central city boasts of Ranjit Singh, a traffic police officer famous for mirroring distinctive tones and dance moves of King of Pop Michael Jackson to manage the road. Singh, who has been waltzing on the busy crossing with his well-maintained reggae moustache and Wayfarer sunglasses, has become a style icon. He said he wanted to do something extraordinary to inspire commuters to follow traffic rules.
यहाँ पर और 5 साल से कंटिन्यू मैं इस तरह का वर्क कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि ट्रैफिक सेंस के मामले में हम लोग थोड़े पीछे हैं अंदर से, तो यहाँ ट्रैफिक सेंस जगाने के लिए कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी करना था और वही मेरा मकसद होता है कि जब भी ड्यूटी करता हूँ लोगों का ट्रैफिक सेंस जागे, इसके लिए अगर एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट करना पड़ रहा है तो इट्स ओके.
Locals said Singh's antics add excitement on the road.
उन्हें हैट्स ऑफ है मेरी ओर से, क्योंकि उनसे अच्छा ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल करने वाला हमने आज तक नहीं देखा. और कई बार जब हम इधर घूमने आते हैं तो स्पेशली गाड़ी साइड में लगा के सिर्फ उनका ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल करने का जो स्टाइल है हम उसको देखते हैं.
Singh's unique policing style has also inspired many to follow his jiving footsteps. Popularly known as the dancing cop, Singh admits of being inspired from New Zealand's former cricket umpire Billy Bowden's unique signalling style on the field.
She's young, she's beautiful, and she might seem the perfect bride. But there is another side to her. Take a look at how she might steal away your attention, and a lot more this time.
लुटेरी दुल्हन जिसने कल रात भव्य रूप से शादी की और सुबह होने से पहले सारा सामान लपेटा और लापता हो गई.
Her fans might dream of a girl like her to marry, but things are set to change this weekend. Bollywood's current heartthrob Sonam Kapoor has no qualms about playing the prettiest bride who corns her grooms with perfection in Dolly ki Doli. Kapoor got on to promote her latest film in entertainment capital Mumbai alongside her two male co-stars Pulkit Samrat and Varun Sharma. Actor turned producer Arbaz Khan also came with the star wife Malaika Arora at the musical event. Kapoor and Arora also shook a leg together, leaving the audience enthralled. Kapoor said she was excited about playing a character which was on the run all through the film.
मैंने बहुत ही भागा है, बहुत ही कॉन किया है, बहुत ही भागने का भाग डॉली भाग. और जो अच्छी बात है कि मैंने बहुत सारे लड़कों का दिल चुराया है इस फिल्म में.
Debutant director Abhishek Dogra and music composer Sajid Wajid also joined in to make it a full house promotional. Khan, whose earlier production Dabang became one of the biggest crosser, said his latest was a joyride.
Dolly ki Doli is basically a fun drama comedy जिसमें सोनम का जो किरदार है वो बहुत से लोगों को घुमाती है, but आपको बहुत मजा आएगा. It's done very entertainingly. It's got great music, great scenes, great performances, great dialogues. It's a wholesome entertainer that you can take your entire family and go and enjoy.
वैसी बहू नहीं हूँ जो केवल अपने पति को दूध दूंगी, मैं सबको दूध.
Dolly ki Doli is a comic drama which revolves around Dolly, who fakes marriages and runs away, stealing all precious belongings of the groom and his family. Accompanying her is her brother Raju, who identifies prospective grooms for her. When Police Inspector Robin Singh is given the task to nab the duo, begins a roller coaster ride. The film also stars Rajkumar Rao and Archana Puran Singh and has Aurora doing a special song.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. President Obama aims at strengthening bilateral ties during India visit. Bangladesh's economy hit hard as indefinite shutdown continues. And Bollywood gets its corn bride with Dolly ki Doli. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNews9.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNews9 and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNews9. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.